All right, so we're back, and today we're diving deep into something kind of different.
Yeah, different from what we usually do.
Exactly. Instead of, looking at a whole bunch of sources or a big event or whatever,
Right, right.
we're going to zero in on one single song.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So the song is called Visions,
Visions.
and it's by this musician, Anthony Grace.
I've heard of him.
Have you?
Yeah, yeah. He's got this really raw kind of style, right? Like very honest lyrics.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what drew me to this song in the first place. Like, it's so personal,
Mm-hmm.
It feels almost like reading someone's diary or like a very personal letter.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like a window into their soul, kind of.
Exactly. And the themes that Grace tackles in Visions are super universal, too.
Like what kind of themes are we talking about here?
Well, it's a lot about ambition and the drive to achieve your dreams,
Okay.
but it also digs into the sacrifices that come with that, the relationships that could be strained or even broken along the way.
Right. Those tough choices you got to make sometimes.
Yeah, and the courage it takes to stay true to your vision even when people around you won't necessarily get it.
That's super relatable. I think a lot of people struggle with that.
For sure. I mean, right off the bat, the song hits you with this line. Back when I had had these visions, seemed like everyone would leave and ain't nobody sticking with them. Like
Whoa.
right away, you feel that sense of isolation, almost like you're on this path that nobody else understands.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff right there. Like having this big dream, but feeling like everyone's going to bail on you.
Exactly. And it makes you think, have you ever felt that way about something you were really passionate about?
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, think about like every artist or innovator who's ever broken new ground.
Right.
They almost always face resistance, right? Like people telling them it'll never work or that they're crazy for even trying.
Oh, yeah, like the classic lone wolf archetype you see in so many stories.
Exactly. The hero who sets out on a quest that everyone else thinks is doomed to fail.
But they keep going anyway because they have this inner vision, this belief that drives them forward.
And that takes some serious guts, right, to go against the grain like that and trust your own instincts even when everyone else is doubting you.
And Visions really captures that struggle. It's not just like some vague inspirational anthem.
Right.
Grace gets super specific with the details, which makes it so much more powerful.
Oh, yeah, like how so?
We'll take these lines, for example, red eyes back and forth from Phoenix, leaving you with red eyes when you cry, and working late nights at 4 a.m.
Wow, okay, so we're talking about some serious dedication here.
Yeah, that paints this picture of pure hustle and grind, like the kind of sacrifice that most people wouldn't be willing to make.
And those late nights working till 4 a.m., that definitely speaks to the dedication, but it also kind of hints at a darker side too, right?
Totally. Like maybe there's a cost to all this. Maybe he's burning himself out or neglecting other parts of his life.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, is it really worth it, to push yourself that hard? Even if you achieve your dream, what if you lose everything else in the process?
That's a heavy question, and honestly, I'm not sure the song gives us a clear answer.
Right. It's more about exploring that tension than offering easy solutions.
Yeah, and that tension really comes to a head in this line. My promise fell apart, and for that, I'm sorry, but maybe you was supposed to, and help tell my story.
Oh, wow. That's a loaded line right there.
Right, like you can hear the regret in his voice, but also this sense of justification, almost like he's saying, yeah, I hurt you, but it was for a greater purpose.
So he's acknowledging the pain he's caused, but also kind of suggesting that this pain is part of his story, part of what makes him who he is.
Exactly, and it makes you think about the ripple effects of ambition. How even the most well-intentioned pursuits can sometimes leave casualties in their wake.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's also a reality for a lot of people who are driven to achieve something big.
For sure, and it's one thing to deal with your own internal struggles, but it's another thing entirely to face negativity and doubt from the people around you.
Oh, yeah, that can be brutal.
And Grace doesn't shy away from that at all. He has these lines about people singing you would never make it acting fake right to your face.
Ouch.
Yeah, and then he says, you ain't walking in my shoes. You think it'd be a perfect fit.
It's like he's surrounded by people who just don't get it. They haven't lived his experiences. They don't see the world through his eyes.
Exactly. And it takes so much strength to stay true to your vision when you're constantly bombarded with that kind of negativity.
Absolutely. It's like you need to develop this thick skin and just tune out the haters.
And what's amazing is that despite all the pain and the struggle and the doubt, Visions ends on this incredibly powerful note of self-belief.
Really?
Yeah, the final lines are, now I'm making my decision, giving this my all, and always following my vision.
Wow, that's like a total 180 from the beginning of the song, right?
Right? It's like he's gone through this whole journey of self-discovery, and he's come out the other side even stronger, even more determined.
And that final line, always following my vision, it's like a declaration of independence, a commitment to his own path no matter what anyone else says.
Exactly. And it makes you think about the power of belief. You know how even when everything seems stacked against you, if you truly believe in something, you can find a way to make it happen.
And you know what I find really interesting about that ending is it's not just about achieving success or reach at the finish line.
Right?
It's about the journey itself. It's about staying true to your vision, even when things get tough, even when you're faced with obstacles and setbacks.
Yeah, it's like the vision itself is the reward in a way.
Exactly. And that's such a powerful message, because it's not about external validation. It's about internal fulfillment.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into visions, I think the big question is, what are your visions?
Ooh, yeah, good one.
What are those dreams, those passions, those goals that keep you going even when things get tough?
Mm-hmm. What are those things that make you feel truly alive, even if other people don't quite understand them?
And how do you stay true to those visions even when you're faced with doubt or negativity?
Right, because let's be real, those doubts are going to creep in no matter what.
Exactly. But the question is, will you let those doubts control you, or will you find a way to push through them and keep moving forward?
And maybe even more importantly, how do you balance those big ambitions with the other parts of your life?
Right, like your relationship, your health, your well-being.
Because it's all connected, right? And finding that balance is key.
Absolutely. So yeah, those are some things to ponder as you go about your day.
For sure. And maybe give visions another listen and see if it hits you differently now.
Yeah, good idea. And until next time, keep chasing those visions, folks. Peace.